Lightsabers. Everybody wants one who's ever watched Star Wars. The one thing that no one knows properly is what lightsaber colour they have. If you don't know, lightsaber colours aren't just chosen. The way it works is you get a crystal, and then your own force, powers and personality get fed into the crystal that depend on then which colour you get. Blue and green, usually Jedi. Purple is like, you're in the middle. You can use light and you can use the dark. It's interesting. And then red, usually you have a normal kyber crystal. You make it bleed, hence why it bleeds red. And then white is you unbleeding the crystal. There are a few that I don't know about. Yellow and orange ones, just everywhere. So we're going to take a few quizzes to find out which one I'd have. And the first one, obviously, it has to be BuzzFeed. Now, it starts off with a wonderful question. Would you like to be a good guy or a bad guy? And I think I'm going to have to go with good guy. I would go with bad guy, because you don't necessarily have to be evil to use the dark side. You can just wield the dark side. Count Dooku is a wonderful example of this. Count Dooku doesn't actually use... he doesn't succumb to the dark side, he just uses it. Which is why he doesn't have like Sith eyes that would just go yellow. And then I think another one that might be an example of this is Darth Revan. Very popular character. Anyway, Rebellion or Empire, I quite like freedom. Also, if I chose the dark side, it's kind of like the dark side. The Empire's like, is the Empire worse than the dark side? I don't know. That's for you to decide. Which is your favourite Star Wars movie? This was probably made before the sequel, but let's just forget about the sequels. How about that? Revenge of the Sith, methinks. Yeah. Where would you like to go? It would be interesting to see the dynamics of the inside of the Death Star. I'd think that would be interesting. I'm going to go with the Jedi Temple. I feel like there's a lot of knowledge to be learnt there. A lot of stuff to be learnt. Who would you rather save from the destruction of your world? People. Sure. Save the animals. Well, that's a really nice suit though. Okay. Which would you least like to encounter? So which one's the worst? Jar Jar Binks, I-Man from the first, technically, New Hope, Empire Strikes Back. I feel like that's from the Clone Wars, just by the way it looks, but it also kind of looks like the thing that they try and escape, or they land in the Empire Strikes Back. Return of the Jedi, and then Return of the Jedi. Is that an arm? Am I seeing another arm out of his mouth? It's a really good screenshot, but CGI. How would you get around? I mean, I don't particularly want to be on a ship called the Slave One. 80-80, a bit slow. Meh. No. Let's go to speeder, because there are plenty more ships you can go on. Choose a career. Right. Bounty Hunter is probably going to be my option. I like bounty hunters. I've watched Mandalorian, it's pretty good. Is Baby Yoda a clone? Possibly. Maybe. Pod racing? No. I've played the Lego Star Wars games, just no. No. Moisture Farmer? Don't really, I think that's why Luke left. Smuggler? It's like below a bounty hunter at this point. Why? Rockstar? Don't really know why you'd want to be a rockstar. Is Star Wars classed as rock? and then super laser operator. If that blew up, which it might do because it's a laser, I feel like I'd be most likely killed in that job. So with death in mind, I'm choosing bounty hunter. Yeah. Then harm. Orange. Interesting. This is the one that I haven't a clue what it is. Right. Jedi that prefer orange bladed lightsabers tend to be confident individuals. Well, no. And whilst they tend to gravitate towards the light side of the Force, one, that doesn't look orange to me. Looks more yellow. Two, if that's the case, Plo Koon also had a orange/yellow lightsaber at some point, so that's interesting. I'm going to leave it there. That one. That's 1 point to yellow. There'll be a counter somewhere. Pick a Justice League member. Delightful. I don't like any of them. Well, let's go Batman. One of your friends gets blamed by a manager for a project that went wrong. What do you do? I'd start searching for new jobs my friend could look into. So whilst they're getting blamed, they don't know if they've been fired yet. They've just been blamed for what went wrong, and they're just like, yeah, you go into construction. Yeah, instantly. Hugs are good. Okay, never mind. If you had force powers in real life, what would you use for them? Or what would you use them for? Yeah. I'd become a vigilante and punish anyone who dares hurt another person. It's a bit extreme. I'd start off conquering the nearest major city, and then tomorrow, the world. I'm going to do this in a Kylo Ren voice, okay?
I'd start off by conquering the nearest major city, and tomorrow, the world. Oh no, I've done it again.
No. I'd try use my powers to bring about world peace through careful negotiation and occasional mind tricks. I'd like to investigate and unlock the mysteries of the universe. I think that might be fun. Pick a Star Wars starship. Or just pick a starship. Are they going to ask me for questions? What's that there? I'd like to choose that option. Okay. Clearly I'm going to choose that one. I mean, I'm not going to choose a space station if it tells me to choose a starship. But do you hold grudges against people who did something to upset you? Yes. I might do.
Yes, until I can properly destroy them, of course.
See? Kylo Ren. Depends on what they did exactly. No, not really. Okay. It depends on what they did, I guess. Scientist? Okay. How would you describe yourself? Calm and clear-minded? Strong? Thoughtful? Protective of others? Dangerous? Thoughtful. I have many thoughts. We've already had this question. There's still more. Okay. Oh, okay. Tricky wordplay. I'd get a purple lightsaber. Yay. Your lightsaber would be purple. And the next one is, what lightsaber colour are you? I'd like to know what lightsaber colour I would have. I wouldn't like to become a lightsaber colour. Which of the following would you most likely subscribe to? The Jedi Order, the Grey Jedi, which is they understand that the Force, to bring balance to the Force doesn't mean to bring balance as in destroy all of the bad, because then there's an imbalance. There's too much good, which bad will always face to. What you need to do is, in every person, need to understand that there's an equal force within themselves that they can use. And that is the Grey Jedi way, which is a long explanation for why I'm choosing this. Okay, which of the following would be your focus? Well, I'd like to understand the most out of Force abilities. However, I can't exactly control my midichlorian levels. So I choose Saber abilities because I think that's something that you can more naturally adhere to, even though a lot of Saber abilities rely on the fact that you can use Force abilities. For instance, precognition, reflexes, but they're kind of like automatic ones that you'd get. What is your primary goal in dealing with conflict? Run away. Effective compromise, so the Obi-Wan Kenobi approach. Ensure justice, so the Anakin approach. Protect others. Effective compromise. The negotiator, they don't call me. Which of the following are you most naturally driven by? Feelings. Just don't need to look at any of the others. What's your greatest drive to fight? I'd say protecting others, because that might also mean like my closest friends. Socially, what do you prefer? Large group, small group, isolation, sweet spot. It depends on my mood. When you get in argument, you. Am I reading that wrong? When you get into an argument, you tend to. Normal thing. Do you like sand? Not when it's in my sandwiches. Sandwich sand is never good. I don't like sand in my sandwiches. Is that not a neutral term? Don't care. I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and it's irritating and it gets everywhere, which I think is the Kylo Ren approach, which requires more Kylo Renning.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating. It gets everywhere.
There we go, Kylo Ren. An imitation by Kylo Ren. What experience would you most enjoy? Achieving a difficult goal, falling in love, jumping out of a plane, probably falling in love. It's nice and it makes people happy. Which of the following do you value most? Passion, self-discipline, critical thinking, responsibility. I think there's quite a lot of all of them that I do value. I'm picking passion. Are you willing to fight dirty to protect others? If I'm in total control of my emotions, are you willing to fight dirty to protect others? Well, I mean, it's not a competition. If it was a competition fighting dirty, no. But if it's a life or death thing, I'd like to save whoever I can. When I get stressed, I tend to take a deep breath, center my thoughts, and carry on. Do physical activities? No. Tell myself that I'll be fine. Probably that one. Okay, which of the following Star Wars movies do you enjoy? It doesn't say that, but that's what I interpret it as. Revenge of the Sith. We've had this question 3 times already. When things get hard, how do you tend to cope? I talk to a friend. I genuinely do. I genuinely talk to a friend because I'm lonely. But I'll just say I put my mind to things. I'm prone to engaging in future thinking, present thinking, past thinking. A bit of all of them at some point I think is healthy. I mostly do past and present and then worry about the future. Present, I'm kind of like, right, I'll focus on something. Past, I'm like, I could have had more friends. I'll just say past thinking. I'm a terrible human. Solve it on my own. Who shot first? Han Solo. Greedo is dead because Han shot first. Let's just a bit of chaos. This one. Tanks. I quite like healers. I feel nice when I heal people, it's just a thing. Same neutral good, I guess. Now, purple. Another purple. Perhaps best interpreted as a mix of blue and red. I think I've already explained all this. If not, pause the video and have a look.